Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details. I'm so excited. We have this beautiful 2019 Model 3 Tesla in. We've already done our interior detail, exterior wash, our decontamination, which is a clay bar remover, iron remover. We've done our tires, wheels, and wheel wells. And now we're moving on to the paint polishing and protection stage. And I am so excited. Turtle Wax sent me their brand new Hybrid Solutions Pro lineup, including their one and done compound, their Flex to the Max wax, which is a graphene infused wax, and then also their Flex Wax spray wax. So we're going to be firsthand using these products, and I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that I learned along the way when using these. We'll show you, a test spot, see what kind of results we can get. Tesla is notorious for having kind of soft, finicky paint, so I'm really excited to see what something that can be technically classified as a compound but finishes down really well, almost kind of like a hybrid polish that can cut and finish down really well. There's a few of these on the market, but the fact that this is available at a retail level, that you can get pro results at home, kind of for the DIYer, is really exciting for me. So we're going to check that out, and we're also going to go ahead and apply the graphene to the max wax, so that way this customer is set up for success. So let's take a look at the lineup and let's get into it. So the Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions Pro kit that you can purchase online is going to include everything that you see here. We've got a 5-gallon bucket, we've got a grid guard, we've got 2 application pads that you can use for the graphene wax. I would imagine that you could also use it for the spray wax. And then when it comes to polishing the paint, they also include some of the recommended pads. And these are just going to vary in kind of cut and the ability to finish down. We've got kind of a Euro 50/50 pad, which if you have harder to medium paint, heavier defects, that's going to be a fantastic pad for you. It can cut and finish down remarkably well on hard to medium paint. Some softer paints, it might leave some marring. That's where your foam pads might really come into play. Or maybe you have just mild to moderate defects, the yellow foam pad, the orange pad, or the black finishing pad. All three are going to really do a fantastic job. This is going to be your most heavy cut, kind of moderate cut, mild cut, and then obviously if you have any sort of micro marring or brand new paint and you're just wanted to kind of jewel the paint, that's where your black finishing pad is going to come in hand, or to remove any micro marring from maybe cutting too aggressively. But we'll kind of break down all of these pads in a moment for you guys, especially when we use it on soft paint. I'm going to kind of show you the differences and what they can do. So what is graphene, and how does it differentiate from maybe some of the other popular buzzwords that you find within the detailing community? You hear of these ceramic spray coatings or ceramic coatings, and you hear of silica carbide or titanium or SiO2, now graphene. It can be a little bit confusing, overwhelming, trying to differentiate between all of these products and why one is beneficial over the other. Now, I have a ceramic coated truck and I also have a graphene coated vehicle, and I can tell you personally that the graphene coating, it responds differently to water, to hydrophobics. The beads are actually taller and the water actually slides off the vehicle with less effort, with less, force of air than the ceramic coated truck that we have. I also noticed because of the taller beading and because of its ability to kind of absorb heat better, there is less risk of water spots. I have not had to deal with water spotting issues, especially with us having hard water here at our house. Versus some other coatings that I've had on our vehicle in the past. But I'm not a scientist or a chemist. I'm not going to, go into, lengthy descriptions of what graphene is. I actually had to go to Wikipedia and write some keynotes down for you guys. But for those of you who are really wanting to understand what graphene is, it's an allotrope of carbon consisting of a single layer of atoms arranged in a 2-dimensional honeycomb lattice. Graphene conducts heat and electricity very efficiently along its plane. The material strongly absorbs light of all visible wavelengths, which accounts for the black color of graphite. Yet a single graphene sheet is nearly transparent because of its extreme thinness. The material is 100 times stronger than would be the strongest steel of the same thickness. And they actually say that graphene is the hardest substance known by man at this point. Doesn't mean ever, but it is stronger than diamond, stronger than steel. Let's take a look at what the Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions, the one and done, and the Flex to the Max. These are the 2 products that we're specifically going to be using today in this video. Let me just read for you the descriptions that are on the back. The one and done compound Correct and Finish utilizes precision platelet technology, a proprietary blend of high quality abrasives that allows you to safely correct any paint surface in less time. Unlike typical abrasives that can gouge the clear coat, our precision platelets self-align for an even cut. The formula is pad adjustable for desired correction performance, and you can use the product longer without having to clean pads as frequently. So essentially, you're going to get around the vehicle a whole lot faster, and you're not going to have to use quite as many pads or work as hard. That's a win-win. Improved finish visibility allows you to see through the polish to view correction performance. Other product benefits includes no sling, longer work time, dust-free, and easy wipe-off that leaves a high gloss finish, body shop safe. So all around, that sounds like a fantastic product for any detailer or DIYer to have in their product. This essentially is a compound and a polish in one, so you don't have to purchase as many products. So it's actually, you're saving money in the long run. You're saving time because you can work longer. You don't have to, work in smaller sections. You don't have to blow out your pads quite as frequently. We're still going to do one pad per panel just to kind of be safe, give us a little bit more durability on our pads so that way we're not overworking them or overheating them. But I'm really excited to try this out. And then our Flex to the Max wax is an easy on, easy off liquid wax that delivers an extremely durable base coating for long-lasting professional performance. I have heard anywhere from 8 to 12 months on a vehicle if it's properly maintained. Uniquely blended proprietary polymers infused with graphene create a tighter web of protection. We take real graphene through a process called high-pressure exfoliation and stabilization. This produces a stable liquid dispersion of graphene atoms that are clear and does not separate in our uniquely blended formula. The combined benefits include amazing depth of gloss, slickness, water repellency, chemical resistance, along with heat dissipation for increased UV protection. This helps keep water and contaminants from sticking to the vehicle, resulting in a clean, protected, and easier to maintain finish. So let's go ahead and take a look at the condition of the paint so that way you guys have a clear understanding of the before. We'll go ahead and do our test spot so we can kind of see a true before and after. I might show you all of the pads on one panel so you can kind of see, especially on soft paint, what these different pads would do within the kit, which one might be the best one. And then from there, we'll go ahead and polish the vehicle and show you the true end result with the one and done compound. So let's get into it. So here's the condition of our paint before we start polishing it. We've got a lot of love marks, a lot of swirl marks. There's actually some chemical staining or water mark staining. I don't know if he has hard water or he's near a sprinkler, but we obviously have some water spot etching. I believe the polish should remove that very easily, but you can just see the paint has nice gloss and shine from a distance when we don't have a correction light on it. But as soon as you kind of get up close with our swirl finder light, you can see we've got a lot of water staining, especially just on this side. So I am wondering if he has a water sprinkler near him. When we come in here on our hood, again, we've got black paint, but it just is lacking a lot of that depth, a lot of that clarity. Again, we've got some random isolated deep scratches. We've got some holograms on especially this panel here. So that tells me the customer must go through an automatic car wash. This panel for some reason and this back panel back here are showing the holograms a little bit more than some of the other panels. So I'm wondering if there was just some difference within the factory when they painted it. But we have holograms, water spot stains, swirls and scratches, I would say of a moderate level. We've definitely got our work cut out for us today. And so this is a great test vehicle for us to try this product out on. So let's go ahead and taper off. I'm going to do 4 squares on our hood, and we're going to try out each pad individually so that we can determine which pad is going to give us the best end result possible. Just go ahead, we'll remove it from all of them. and then we'll just kind of do a quick comparison of the after condition of the paint. I can already see here we didn't remove the deeper scratches. It blended them, but it didn't remove them like we did with the Eurofiber 50/50 pad. Even the black finishing pad, we were able to remove some light blemishes because of the abrasives that are in this, but you can see we still have some scratches here that I can see. And just for kicks and giggles, I did the black on this hologram section right here just to see if that was able to remove the hologram. So let's get our swirl finder light. So here's our Eurofiber 50/50. Here's our yellow foam. Still have some rids over here. I didn't remove all of the polish. I was trying to move fast for the video. But I would almost say the Eurofiber 50/50 might be the route we need to go. It's finishing down really well. Our hologram section over here. That one section, it did remove the holograms, but it didn't do much correction. So I think the Eurofiber 50/50 is actually the pad that we're going to use for this vehicle. Alright, so I did the Eurofiber 50/50 on the hood, and notice when I wiped everything off, it did have some slight holograms just because it was too aggressive on the paint. So I ended up going over it with the black finishing pad. You can see here, we've got no holograms. We've got a nice finish. It's about, I would say, 75 to 80% defect removal at the clip that I was moving. This is a 2019 and the paint is in pretty rough condition, and I don't want to be overly aggressive chasing every defect. So the fact that we got this much correction, I am happy with this end result. I think the customer will be as well. But we're keeping in mind that we're not being too aggressive with the clear coat. We do have that technology within it that is going to not necessarily be as aggressive as some other polishes because of the platelet technology. But still, I don't want to, chase my ego, chasing every single swirl and scratch when I could be compromising the clear coat just because of just the condition of the paint. But I'm happy with that end result. Because I wanted to ideally keep this as much of a one step as possible, we're going to step it down from the Eurofiber 50 and then following up with the black finishing pad to just the yellow foam pad. I don't have that specific one, but I do have the Rupes yellow foam finishing pad. It cuts really well, but finishes down really well. So we're going to see what kind of clarity on the paint we can get using that pad, because that's what I have a majority of here in my detail shop. So we're going to keep moving around the vehicle with that pad, and I'll bring you in for a little bit of part of the polishing as well as the end result. But I just wanted to kind of clue you in on that little bit of a change. wanna hear you say, I want it that way. Tell me why. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say, I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say, I want it that way. 'Cause I want it that way. All right, guys, it is 10 to 12, and we've been able to work our way around this vehicle and have a phenomenal end result. You can see with one product in under 2 hours, we've been able to cut and polish, especially black, soft Tesla paint, and get a end result that is going to blow my customer away. Frankly, it's kind of blowing me away. I've worked on several Teslas in the past, and sometimes they can be a pain in the butt because if you're super aggressive, you'll have holograms. And if you're not aggressive enough, you're going to still have a lot of those deep rids within the paint. This removed, I would say, 75 to 80% of the defects on the paint. Mind you, there's some deeper rids, but we were able to remove all of that chemical staining that was within the paint from the water sprinklers or the hard water. What's left behind is just a deep, rich clarity and gloss and shine that honestly makes this look better than a brand new vehicle. I cannot wait to top it with the graphene infused to the max wax just to see what kind of increased gloss and shine we have. I did change my pad per panel, but the working time on this polish was very impressive in the fact that I could do an entire panel at a time. I didn't have to divide it in half, and these are some larger panels. And so I had really long work time, no dust, no sort of, residue going in between the door jambs or anything like that. I did find it was a little grabby when it came to wipe off, so I did use a damp towel. I squeezed out a majority of it, and then I followed up with the Korean plush. That removed the polishing oils and the residue a whole lot easier than if you were to just try to do it with a dry rag. So I do recommend that, when you're polishing, keep a damp plush towel on hand just to wipe the residue. It will make the process go a whole lot faster for you. But in under 2 hours for us to get results like this, and we weren't super aggressive on the clear coat, I was able to finish down beautifully. This is a very impressive product. Honestly, I would say a huge contender with some of the top name brands that are on the market. So I'm excited to actually test them out in the future. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison with some of the more popular hybrid polishes that are on the market. So make sure you guys follow the channel and subscribe to stay tuned for those future videos. For those of you who are wanting to know what's kind of the best or one of the best hybrid polishes that are going to cut and finish down really well, I'm excited to do that video soon. So we're going to go ahead and take a break for lunch and get my daughter to school. We'll be right back and apply our graphene infused to the max wax. So we'll be right back.